In this video, we'll practice adding and subtracting fractions that have the same denominator. This is one of the easiest and most satisfying fraction skills. Once you understand what the denominator means, you'll see that the process is really simple. When fractions have the same denominator, the pieces are already the same size. That means all you have to do is add or subtract the numerators, the top numbers. The denominator stays exactly the same because the size of each part doesn't change. Let's say that you had a pizza that was cut into 8 pieces. And then let's further say that you ate 3 of the pieces. This means you ate 3/8 of the pizza. Your friend, let's suppose they ate 2 of the slices. So they ate 2/8 of the pizza. By adding these together, since they have the same denominator, 3 plus 2 is 5 over 8. We can see in this picture, we still have 8 pieces that make up the whole, but 5 of them are shaded, so 5/8. Together, you ate 5/8 of the pizza. Same size slice, just more slices eaten. Let's look at another one. 7/10 minus 3/10. Since the denominators are the same, all we have to do is subtract the numerators. 7 minus 3 is 4. So this is the same thing as 4/10, which simplifies down to 2/5. Let's look at a picture of this one. Here I have a strip that's broken up into 10 pieces, and the 7/10 say that we start with 7 of these pieces shaded. Subtraction means we need to remove, so I'm going to remove 3 of the shaded pieces. So we'll remove 3, and we can see that we're left with 4 of the 10 shaded pieces. And that will give us our answer, 4/10. Next, let's look at 1 3/5 plus 1/5. We can add our whole number pieces like we normally do. In this case, there's only one whole number piece, which is 1. And then we add our fraction pieces. They both have a 5 on the denominator, so we just add the top, 3 plus 1. So my answer is 1 4/5. Let's look at a picture of this one. Here, we have 2 bars that are broken up into 5 pieces, since that's what my denominator is. And we need to start with 1 3/5. That means we're going to have one entire bar. And then for the second one, we'll add 3 pieces. So that will represent my first number. We then need to add in 1/5. So I need to add in one more section. And so total, we can see that we have 1 full bar and 4 out of 5 sections shaded in the other. So 1 4/5. In each of these examples that I did, notice how in every case, the denominator never changed. Only the numerators did. Let's look at some common slip-ups that we want to avoid. The first one is adding or subtracting the denominators. As an example, students sometimes do things like 3/8 plus 2/8 equals 5/16, where they added the top and added the bottom. But this is incorrect. The denominator represents the size of the pieces, not the count of them, so it stays the same since I'm not changing the size of my pieces. Another common mistake is forgetting to simplify the answer. I did an example earlier where my answer was 4/10, but that simplified into 2/5. 4/10 is fine, but 2/5 is simpler, so we do prefer that. The last mistake is mixing whole numbers and fractions incorrectly. Remember to add your whole numbers and your fraction parts separately, like we did with our last example, 1 3/5 plus 1/5. Let's look at one more. 4/7 minus 6/7. You might think, wait, can you subtract a bigger fraction from a smaller one? And yes, you can. 4/7 minus 6/7 is negative 2/7, since 4 minus 6 is negative 2. Fractions can be negative just like whole numbers. It just means you're below 0 on the number line. If you're a visual thinker, draw the fractions like I did Here, when the denominators match, it's like counting or removing equal slices of the same pizza, chocolate bar, or pie. It's a great way to double check your understanding. You're doing awesome. Adding and subtracting with like denominators is one of the most important stepping stones in fraction work. Now that you've got this down, you're ready for the next challenge: adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. Keep practicing, and remember, every problem you solve is one step closer to math competence. You've got this.